U.S. President Donald Trump says Ukraine peace deal will either happen fairly soon or not at all as he meets British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House. French President Emmanuel Macron is on a two-day state visit to Portugal to boost bilateral ties and urge European unity.
Controversial influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate arrive in Florida after Romania lifted travel restrictions connected to a human trafficking case.
U.S. President Donald Trump says peace talks to bring an end to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine are advancing rapidly. The remarks came as Trump welcomed British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House to discuss the ongoing peace efforts.
President Trump, can you get a peace deal done in Ukraine?
Yes.
How confident are you, sir?
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Starmer in the Oval Office.
Trump says that his team are keeping close contact with Russia's Putin and Ukraine's Zelensky to explore ways to end the fighting. He warned, however, that the scope in which a deal can be implemented is very narrow in time, adding that it'll either be delivered fairly soon or not at all.
We're working very hard to get that war brought to an end. I think we've made a lot of progress, and I think it's moving along pretty rapidly. And I want to thank all of the people that are here that have been working on it. And we'll let you know what happens. It'll either be fairly soon or it won't be at all.
From His Majesty the King.
Starmer expressed his country's readiness to put boots on the ground in Ukraine to ensure their security in any potential peace agreement. The British Premier also noted that the deal must be right and cannot reward the aggressor, warning that it sets a dangerous precedent.
There's a famous slogan in the United Kingdom from after the Second World War. That is that we have to win the peace. And that's what we must do now. Because it can't be peace that rewards the aggressor or that gives encouragement to regimes like Iran. We agree history must be on the side of the peacemaker, not the invader.
Trump will meet Zelensky on Friday at the White House to sign a U.S.-Ukraine minerals deal, as well as discuss recent developments. The rare earths agreement between Ukraine and the United States is the first diplomatic test for Kyiv and Washington, says Yulia Pavitska of the Kyiv School of Economics. And given that the U.S. previously stated that the administration wants to achieve peace through power, Kyiv didn't expect it to be power over them instead of Moscow.
And nobody actually could foresee the scale, how it will turn with this deal, and that what deal we receive to be signed is a completely barbaric deal that just is supposed to force Ukraine to give all the sources, to turn all the aid that was previously provided in terms of grants to the loan unexpectedly. The first draft was not in favor of Ukrainian interest and was questioning the Ukrainian sovereignty.
She believes that any deal to be signed should not disrupt or violate any existing arrangement that Ukraine has for its Euro integration.
I believe that for now it's important that this high-level agreement that was now sent to US has the separate line that it shouldn't be contradicting or violating any agreements or anything that was already signed with EU. Also, I believe that likely this note that the whole agreement needs to be ratified in the parliament. It's also kind of a security helmet for us, because we have parliament that also won't vote just for like some weird agreement that will be contradicting all the other legislation we have towards EU.
And most importantly, it should include the security guarantees which Kyiv has been insisting on and which President Volodymyr Zelensky intends to raise with Donald Trump in their White House meeting on Friday. French President Emmanuel Macron is on a two-day state visit to Portugal to boost bilateral ties and urge European unity. The French leader is coming off the back of a Washington visit on Monday where he met with U.S. President Donald Trump. Macron attempted to highlight the importance of sticking by Ukraine to his US counterpart, whose second term in office so far has been highly critical of Europe.
Je confirme qu'en tout cas, il le recevra demain si les choses vont bien, et je m'en félicite, et c'est une très bonne chose. Et j'essaie de toujours être là pour en effet faciliter les choses, mais l'Ukraine, c'est en effet un combat pour nous qui est important. C'est le combat pour le droit international, pour la souveraineté, et puis c'est le combat pour la sécurité des Européens. Et il est existentiel pour nous. Et donc c'est important que le président Zelensky puisse expliquer aussi au président Trump ce qui se joue chez lui.
Macron will visit Porto on the second day of his trip. He'll also sign a range of agreements covering political, economic, and security issues. He's also met his counterpart, President Marcelo de Souza, as well as Prime Minister Luís Montenegro.
Numa cerimónia no Centro Cultural de Belém, aqui em Lisboa, o primeiro-ministro português, Luís Montenegro, congratulou o presidente francês pelo trabalho desenvolvido nas últimas semanas em contexto internacional para dar passos positivos em direção à paz na Ucrânia. Emmanuel Macron não falou da situação no leste da Europa, mas referiu que os valores partilhados, como o multilateralismo, estão a desmoronar-se num mundo cada vez mais fragmentado. Joana Mourão Carvalho para a Euronews em Lisboa.
Exploratory talks between Germany's Christian Democratic and Social Democratic parties began in Berlin on Friday. The most heated topics of discussion include changes to migration policies, welfare reforms and the debt brake, which keeps national borrowing levels low. Whilst the CDU won the most amount of votes in Sunday's snap election, it was the party's second lowest results in their history. The CDU needs a coalition partner and is keen to form a government within the next 2 months, as Germany has been plagued by instability. The CDU lost almost 1 million voters to far-right party Alternative for Germany, and around 700,000 SPD voters also migrated to the AfD, so both parties need to form a strong and successful coalition if they are to win back the trust of their voters. Liv Stroud, reporting in Berlin for Euronews.
Many residents of the Greek island of Santorini have decided to leave due to the intense seismic activity. Mainly families with little kids, but also several workers moved to Athens. Yanis Vailas and his wife Irene have 6 children and live in Megalochori, a small village of the island. While at one point they thought about leaving, the family decided to stay in Santorini.
Φόβος υπήρχε, υπάρχει και θα υπάρχει πάντοτε. Σαν οικογένεια λοιπόν αποφασίσαμε και είπαμε μόνο όταν φτάσουμε στο ακραίο να πούν ότι αδειάζει το νησί, εκεί θα φύγουμε.
The family also has 2 dogs, 2 cats, a turtle and a hamster. The young children told their parents they did not want to leave without their pets. After discussing it, the parents trained their children on how to react in the event of a strong earthquake, and the family continued their lives as normal.
Φοβήθηκα, δεν μπορώ να πω ότι δεν φοβήθηκα, αλλά δεν σκέφτηκα στιγμή να παρατήσω τον τόπο μου και να φύγω. Έχω πει, εδώ γεννήθηκα, εδώ θα πεθάνω.
Κάθε παιδί μέσα στο σπίτι ήξερε ανα πάσα στιγμή τι θα κάνει, τι θα πράξει και απέναντι με το πιο μικρό παιδί.
With the exception of a woman from Athens who showed interest, no one else knocked on the family's door to see if they needed anything.
Κανένας δεν ήρθε να μας χτυπήσει την πόρτα, να αναρωτηθεί εάν το σπίτι μας είναι εντάξει, εάν έχουμε ανάγκη με τόσα παιδιά για κάτι. Οικονομική βοήθεια τώρα δεν είχαμε και ούτε θα έχουμε και ποτέ από κανένα. Μόνοι μας. Να είμαστε καλά, τα χεράκια μας, τα ποδαράκια μας και εμένα και του άντρα μου, να μπορέσουμε να μεγαλώσουμε τα παιδιά μας.
Panos Rosos is a professional guide. 11 years ago, he moved to Santorini with his wife and their 2 daughters.
Δεν θα φύγουμε, ακόμα και αν μείνει το νησί μισό. Δεν μπορούμε να φύγουμε. Πραγματικά δεν μπορούμε να φύγουμε.
The family has decided to stay on the island in hopes that the earthquakes will not affect the tourist season.
Τον τελευταίο 1 μήνα οι κάτοικοι πέρασαν δύσκολες στιγμές. Αρκετοί έφυγαν για την Αθήνα και άλλες μεγάλες πόλεις αφού δεν γνώριζαν πόσο θα διαρκέσει η έντονη σεισμική δραστηριότητα. Όμως πλέον επιστρέφουν στο νησί. Σε λίγες ημέρες αναμένεται να ανοίξουν και τα σχολεία, οπότε η καθημερινότητα θα επιστρέψει σε πιο ομαλούς ρυθμούς. Από το μεγαλοχώρι της Σαντορίνης για το Euronews, Απόστολος Τάικος.
The controversial influencer brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate have arrived in Florida after authorities in Romania lifted travel restrictions on the pair. The Tates were arrested in late 2022 and indicted on charges of luring women to Romania where they were sexually exploited. Andrew Tate was also charged with rape. Both brothers deny the allegations. In December, a court ruled that the case couldn't go to trial because of multiple legal and procedural irregularities on the part of prosecutors. However, the case remained open. Romania's anti-organised crime agency said that prosecutors approved a request to change the travel restrictions on the Tates. But the brothers are still required to appear before judicial authorities when summoned. Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the brothers aren't welcome in his state.
Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified.
Both Tate brothers are vocal supporters of US President Donald Trump. Asked if his administration had pressured the Romanian government to release the Tates, Trump said he knew nothing about the case.
Know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
The Tate brothers' legal battles aren't limited to Romania. 4 British women who accused Andrew Tate of sexual violence and physical abuse are suing him in the UK after the Crown Prosecution Service decided not to prosecute.